Well, with Abbie Wright, head coach of the SPU volleyball team, Abbie and her Falcons heading to California this week for their first preseason tournament down at Point Loma Nazarene. Abbie, been practicing for a couple of weeks. You've had a couple of scrimmages. What have you seen out there so far?
Seeing, a lot of grit and determination. I think something we did really well last weekend was our ball control, serve, receive, and working a lot on defense. And so, how can we read the game really well? How can we be good with our eyes? And I saw a lot of that translate last weekend, which was really fun. So.
All right. You've got a nice mix of experience and a lot of newbies this year. Talk about how that's working out, how everybody's blending together so far.
Yeah, I think, some of the best things that I've seen with our team have been off the court, just connecting with each other, getting to know each other, and, it's huge for a group of girls to feel connected and, bonded together. And, an example of that is two of our younger kids that are new, on our day off, weren't going anywhere, and we had a senior take them out to dinner, reach out. So it's things like that, little things that, are going to propel us forward, and that kind of stuff translates onto the court when you just feel more comfortable with the group.
Okay. Talk about some of these veterans and what you're expecting from them this year.
Yeah, the veterans, it's 8 veterans and 8 new girls. I think just continuing to set the tone of what our culture is and to set the tone of what our practice expectations are. They have a really good handle on how things should go and the vibe of, what practice, how intense it should be, and, how talkative it should be. And so it's been fun having those conversations with them of just, hey, here's the bar, and how do we get everybody to rise to the occasion at the appropriate time and play at that bar.
What is this team potentially capable of this year as everything kind of comes together? What is your coach's gut telling you about this group?
Yeah, I think the thing I really like about this group is just when presented with new things, I really see us trying to implement them. And so, we've talked a lot about, like, hey, pushing through failure and, being comfortable, being uncomfortable. And so, the more that we can keep that on our minds, I think we're capable of a lot. Our conference is really good, our preseason is really good, so it's hard to kind of control the wins and the losses, but just if we stick with that mindset, I think we can accomplish a lot of things and grow in a lot of ways, which is the main goal.
And I know one thing you emphasize with the players is trust the system. Do you sense them buying into that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and I think with any team, it's a challenge to keep coming back to, even in moments of doubt or tight situations, you're going to go back, especially in a game, you're going to go back in a moment of stress to your level of training. And so if we can be good at the little things, if we can be good at the process, what might chalk up to chance to a win or a loss could be, something that we can control just because of the training that we've done. And I really like the system that we're running, and, I think the girls see the benefits of it too. And so it's just how well we can execute from practice and all those things.
One of the key positions out there is obviously setter. We got run up some new candidates there this year. Talk about them a little bit and what you're seeing from some of those players.
Yeah, I think they're learning a lot from Taylor, and then we have 2 freshmen, and so they're all contributing really well. It's also again learning a new system. Setters especially have a whole new plate of things they need to get used to, and so I think for them, I've been telling them, hey, I'm on you a lot, but I'm also your biggest fan. So I think they've been a little overwhelmed, but then also they've been doing a great job. And, it's up to us to give them the information, but they're really catching on quick. And all 3 of them, I think, are a really good group. So.
Excellent. 4 matches this weekend. What are you looking for in particular? We're looking at East Bay, Concordia, Irvine, San Francisco State, and Point Loma.
Yeah. I think a couple of the teams have turned over a lot of kids like we have, and then a couple of them are returning a big lineup. So the challenge, I think, is, again, who can run their system the best, who can play their version of volleyball the best. But I do think it's a defensive game for us this year. I think that's something that we need to be really good at. So that's my goal this weekend of, can we out-defend, can we put ourselves in scenarios that we can, because we're defending, we can score. So.
And you're heading into your 3rd year as coach. Just talk about your growing process since you've been here now.
Yeah, I've grown a lot, and I hope I'm still growing and learning. I still don't feel like I know very much, but I think it helps to kind of understand, what the conference is going to be like, kind of the level they need to be playing at to get into the regional. So all those things have more of a clear picture in my head. And but yeah, I think I'm learning every day how to relate better with my team, and compared to 2 years ago, I think I've gotten better at it. But again, you have a new group every year, so you have to
Right.
relearn that. And yeah, but I think the better that I can effectively communicate, it'll be helpful to everybody.
And finally, this conference in this region, one of the toughest in the country. Talk
Yep.
about that a little bit. There's no such thing as a night off when you
No,
when you
there
take the
isn't.
court. It just doesn't
Yeah.
happen out here.
Yeah, which is great. One of the reasons why I chose this job was because of that, and I'm, recruiting kids to a conference and to a region that is pretty strong, which is really fun at the D2 level. So, yeah, we have a challenge every night, and we have a challenge in preseason, and I think it just gets you playing higher level volleyball sooner in your season, when you can expect those really good matches. So, I'm excited. There's a lot of veterans coming back in the GNAC, so we'll see. We'll see a lot of the same faces. It'll be fun.
All right. Thank you, Coach, and good luck.
Thank you.
You bet.